Welcome 12th class. In today's class, so how are you? I hope you all will be fine and good at your home. So today we are starting our chapter that is from your book, second book Vistas, and that is named The Enemy. Enemy, of course, not a good word, but it is written by the famous writer Pearl S. Buck. She is also a Nobel Prize winner in literature, and she is a renowned writer of English literature. So, today we will go through this story that is namely a short story, but at the moment it is not so short. So, that is the longest story including your syllabus, those most lengthiest of all them. So we will discuss this chapter in three parts, okay, because being a lengthy story, I will discuss it in three parts so that you can understand it better. First of all, we take the writer, Pearl S. Buck, as you see the name and you know the name, that is, she born in US. She born in she born in West Virginia, USA. Okay, and when only she was 3 months old, her parents took her to China. Okay, and they in China she spent about 40 years of her life there. That's why she know very well the customs and traditions of English people of US being because she of Chinese people, and that's why she is conversant with the custom and tradition of that part of the world. And she was bilinguist and adept in both Chinese as well as in English, and she wrote in also Chinese and English language, and she translated it in Chinese language also, and she was the best novel is published Good Earth, has also on China background and was first published it in 1931. In 1931, her first novel came to be published, and I told you she won the Nobel Prize of there, and it is just after writing this novel, she authored over more than 70 books, including novels, stories for children, and dramas, biography, autobiography, poetry also she wrote. And she died in March in 1973, just 2 months before celebrating her 81st birthday. So that's all about this famous writer, Pearl S. Buck. And about the chapter, I would like to tell you that it is a story that is about a war. But writer has not taken war activities here included in her chapter here. The story, of course, based on war, but she is she want to give you a message of anti-war. Writer want to deliver a message through this story, anti-war. Okay, how this anti-war story, and but no stage in the story does the author spell out categorically condemn of war. कहीं उसने जिक्र नहीं किया है कि वो war को condemn करती है, but the masses successfully she delivered this, and she was successful to deliver this message of anti-war. And the de-glorification of war is hinted at through the near fatal plight of that prisoner, about whom this whole story encircle the main person, that is the enemy, who is the prisoner of war from an American. So in American prisoner of war, that is POW, and his condition speaks for itself and sets the reader thinking about the illogical of war. What are the illogical? Why we do this war? War is not necessary. For people to live a better life, we need only our basic amenities to complete, not war. But even then, every country has a great huge amount of money is spent, budget is spent on for the war. That is really very pathetic for everyone. Nobody wants war, nobody. But even then, for our safety, every nation has to take steps to make his people safe from other countries. That's why they spent. But otherwise, nobody like war. We know the war results. What happened every day? We used to come to know in news that on our as an Indian on our border, whenever any young army person sacrificed their life, how sad we feel, for their family. So war is not good for anybody. So here, that's a message she wanted to deliver. And one more thing is this, that the man he killed, this chapter I would like to resemble the Thomas Hardy's poem, The Man He Killed. How in this poem Thomas Hardy has explained that same thing the writer here wanted to explain. Understood? Now the story also deals with the conflict of a doctor and his wife also, because here the main character is Dr. Sado and his wife Hannah, and that third one is the prisoner. ठीक, तो उन दोनों के बीच में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रहता है कि Hannah wanted to get rid of this prisoner and doctor is in a dilemma. Dilemma जानते हैं, दुविधा की ऐसी condition when you can't take a decision, either do this or this. That is the condition. Same condition I explained in the poem. When we are not able to take in 9th class the road not taken. Same thing is when we are not feeling comfortable to take any decision. So here also the writer is in a dilemma condition, because of course he is a doctor and he has a duty towards whole humanity, and second one, that is not less important, that he is also patriotic, had a great feeling of patriotism towards his country, and it should be. So both things are creating a conflict in his mind. And here he also shared this thing with her wife Hannah. His wife Hannah, they are reminded that his country is at war with theirs, but there is always a word beyond all reason, and word of professional loyalty and the word of pity. When all is said and done, one can't help admiring the skills and talent of the author who succeeded in condemning wars and warmongers in the strongest of terms, in the most artistic and sensitive manner. So now let us start the chapter. I deals with the main points. So you listen carefully and I hope it will make you better understanding. Here the main character, as I told you, Dr. Sado. And Sado, in the first 1-2 paragraphs, the writer deals with the about who is Sado, what his life in his childhood, and how he became a doctor. So he says that lived in a house, because Dr. Sado is Japanese, and their house is on the coastal area, Japanese coast. Okay, and often played. The writer is telling about his childhood that often they played their as a small boy, and house set up upon rocks above a narrow beach. Their house was, I told you, the coastal area of Japan. So their house is also on a on a narrow beach, and climbed pine trees when he was a child. That time he was reminding about himself that they used to climb pine trees on the beach as a child and supported himself on barefoot. आपने देखा है कि जो चीड़ के या कोकोनट के ट्रीज होते हैं तो दे आर straight, just there are no branches, so it is very difficult to ride on a straight tree like coconut or pine. So he's telling that when they in their childhood they used to climb very easily on these trees when they were used to play there. How? Supported by their bare feet. Often visited South Sea Island with father. He used to go there, and father believed island to be the stepping stone of Japanese future. वो क्या सोचते थे कि ये जो आइलैंड है, these are the stepping stone of the Japanese future. इन्हीं पे चढ़ के उनका भविष्य बनने वाला है, इन्हीं से ये जो आइलैंड है, ठीक. And Sado was dutiful son, and his father was a very serious type person, never joke, never talk like funny talks like this, and never joked and never played with him even. So Sado was dutiful son, did everything his father told him, whatever his father's expectation, being as a son. So Sado tried to fulfill all his desires. For example, father was stern but cared a lot for Sado's future. बहुत केयरफुल थे वो उसके फ्यूचर को लेके. And Sado's education was the father's main concern. पूरी तरह से उनका पूरा ध्यान, पूरा फोकस उसकी किसकी पे रहता था? उसकी एजुकेशन पे रहता था. Of course, every parents, हर एक का रहता है, पर here the writer want to underline this thing that her father was main focus on his son's education. And that's why at only 22 he sent him to America to study surgery and science. उन्होंने उसको वहाँ डॉक्टरी की में MD वगैरह करने के लिए, अपना उसमें रिसर्च करने के लिए उसको वहाँ भेज दिया था. And when he now Sado returned, came back to his country Japan when he was 30, okay, and earned great renown in father's life. अपने father के सामने ही उसकी जो प्रसिद्धि थी वो पूरी उसमें फैल गई थी. As a doctor, as a good doctor, as a successful doctor, and also as a scientist also. किसमें उन्होंने रिसर्च किया था? रिसर्च ने जो वुंड्स हैं उनको कैसे क्लीन रखा जाता है, इसमें उनकी रिसर्च थी, ठीक. तो perfecting a discovery to render wound clean. Sado retained in Japan, and there was also a war has also begun there between the America and Japan. So that time here is a question of NCERT's questions that why Sado was not sent with troops. So why he was not sent? There are two reasons. First reason is because he was pursuing his research. First thing, and second thing is this, back to the journal under whom he is working. So journal was under his treatment, and journal doesn't want to send him with the troops because he wants him around him all the time. That's why there are two reasons why he was not sent with the troops. You right. Sado and Hannah. Now we will see the chemistry between Sado and his wife Hannah. You know, once where the story begins, the exactly story begins here now. Both were standing in their balcony. That told you their house was situated on a narrow beach, and so that way, or the coastal area. So they both were in the evening standing in their balcony and seeing towards the sea. That time he was reminiscing. What revolutionizing? How he met Hannah in America when he was doing his research, when he was sent to America for higher study that time. So here he was thinking when they are looking around the in the open area there was a mist, so nothing was so visible. जैसे धुंधला हो जाता है ना, ऐसा शाम का वहाँ वातावरण था, क्योंकि क्या होता है उससे जो भाप बनती है तो उससे वो धुंध ठंडा होकर धुंध बन जाती है वहीं पर। तो इसी तरह से नाउ Hannah was described as she was wearing heroic over chemo open door and puts arms as she entered the balcony, and she puts arms around the shadows lovingly. So that time Sado recognized his stay in America. The days he spent there, he is reminiscing here, meet Hannah in America, and accidentally by chance they both met there and fall in love and likes her at first sight. जैसे कहते हैं पहली नजर में प्यार हो गया, तो उसको एक जैसे फर्स्ट साइट में उसको उससे पसंद करने लगा था। His regard for father's feeling checks him, लेकिन क्योंकि वो अपने पापा को जानता था कि he will never accept any Americans, so that's why वो इस आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता था उसके लिए। So they wait to fall into love till he is sure that she is Japanese. जब उसको अच्छे से पता चल गया कि yes, she is also a Japanese girl, that they continue their love. And America, Sado lives in profession Harley's house. उनके घर में वो रहे थे, तो वहाँ के बारे में उसको याद आ रहा है कि कैसे वो छोटे से घर में और उसकी जो वाइफ थी वो कैसे उन लोगों के ऊपर चीखती थी, हाउ शी बिहेव्ड विद देम, द स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ द प्रोफेसर हैरली, एंड दे आर काइंड पीपल, बट सैडो डिसलाइक प्रोफेसर्स वॉल्यूबल, यानी बहुत टॉकेटिव थी वो उनकी वाइफ, तो उससे एंड हेट्स फूड एंड द स्मेल ऑफ द रूम। जो वहाँ का छोटे छोटे कमरे थे उन स्मॉल रूम से और जो वहाँ का खाना था अमेरिका का, सैडो डिसलाइक दैट। Now Sado and Hannah got married, and on return Sado seek father's approval for marriage. They came back to their country, and first he seeks the confirmation from his father, because without his father's permission, he think that he couldn't be able to get married. That's why first he seeks permission or the father's approval for marriage, and marries Hannah after permission. Marriage is also solemn and arranged and also organized in old Japanese style. जैसे कि उनका customs है, ठीक उसी तरह से उनकी शादी हो जाती है. Couple love each other dearly, have perfect understanding. Very good couple, lovely couple they are both. So now a strange creature, when they were both standing in their balcony, suddenly what happened that they see a strange creature was just appearing from coming from to seaside. Both see that, notice that when they were standing there, and Hannah learn over veranda railing. वो उसको देखने के जैसे ना पास से देखने के लिए ऐसे हो जाते हैं ना, रेलिंग के ऊपर वहाँ की बालकनी में वो ऐसे झुक के उसको देख रही है। Who's there? कौन हो सकता है वहाँ पर? दोनों बात कर रहे हैं और नोटिस समथिंग ब्लैक, ऐसा लगा कि कुछ काली सी आकृति है जो वहां से बाहर आ रही है। किसमें से? उसी में से। एंड नो रियलाइज दैट इट इज नथिंग नो अदर देन अ मैन। ह्यूमन बीइंग कोई है, कोई मैन है, दैट इज वॉच्ड अशोर बिकम क्यूरियस। वो वहां पर मतलब किनारे, समुद्र किनारे आके गिर गया है और वो उसको देखने के लिए उनमें क्यूरियोसिटी हुई। सो दो बोथ थिंक दैट इट इज टू बी ए, क्योंकि समुद्र में ऑब्वियसली फिशर्स मैन ही होते हैं, तो उसमें कोई फिशर मैन होगा। बट बिकॉज बीइंग ए डॉक्टर he couldn't check himself to go there to see there what happened, why he was there. इसलिए और being curious they run down to the beach and notice a wounded unconscious man. क्या देखा वहां पे उन्होंने? एक आदमी पड़ा था जो घायल था and also unconscious, बेहोश भी था। ही इज टैटर्न इन दिस रॉकी एरिया, वो यहाँ पर चट्टानों से टकरा के, यानी वेव्स ने उसको किनारे पे पटक दिया था, ऐसा तो समुद्र में था और चट्टानों से टकरा के वेव्स हैव ब्रॉट हिम नियर द शोर, तो ऐसे वो अनकॉन्शियसली एंड वुंडेड ऑल्सो ही वॉज देयर. नाउ दे went nearer to the person to know who is he, and the man is none other than an American POW, जो वहाँ की आर्मी है उसका आदमी था. is seriously wounded and bleeding profusely, बहुत तेजी से उसकी ब्लीडिंग हो रही थी. एंड सफर्स ए, क्या था, किस वजह से ब्लीडिंग हो रही थी, कि उसको कोई जो है गोली लगी हुई थी, गन से वूंड बना हुआ था, दैट्स व्हाई, एंड एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर bleeded there, that's why he got unconscious. So they went nearer him and they noticed this. Sado props the wound, stop the bleeding by packing. अब वहाँ पर कुछ नहीं है उसके पास, कोई अपना बैग थोड़ी है ना, फर्स्ट एड बॉक्स नहीं है उसके पास, दैट्स व्हाई डॉक्टर की, किसी भी डॉक्टर की फर्स्ट जो है ड्यूटी क्या होती है, whenever they found any person wounded or in any problem, they give them first aid. So सेम थिंग सैडो ट्राइड देयर, वहाँ जो भी घास वगैरह पड़ी हुई थी उसको उन्होंने उसको लेके उससे उसको वुंड को, ब्लीडिंग को रोकने की कोशिश की, और वो उसके वहाँ पर उसने बांध दी, पैक द वुंड विद द, जिसे हम सी मॉस बोलते हैं, समुद्र में समुद्री घासें पाई जाएगी, तो वो उसने वहाँ पे लगा दी. Americans' condition too pathetic to be thrown back into the sea, but when they noticed that the person was an American, and you know Americans were enemy. Those time Americans were enemies of Japanese people. अब वो क्या करें, अगर अब वो अपने देश के बारे में सोचता है तो उसको वहीं फेंक देना चाहिए, हेल्प कैसे कर सकता है, लेकिन बिकॉज बीइंग ए डॉक्टर अब उसकी कॉन्शियस ये भी अलाउ नहीं कर रही है कि वुंडेड पर्सन को वो मरने के लिए छोड़ दे. सो देयर इज अ बिग डायलेमा इन हिज माइंड, है ना. उसको बिल्कुल मना करती है कि नहीं नहीं इसको यहीं छोड़ो, वरना हम जो है मुश्किल में फंस जाएंगे. अपने घर में आप किसी प्रिजनर को रख लें, किसी आतंकवादी को रख लें जो आपकी कंट्री का एनिमी, उसको कंट्री को बिलोंग करता हो, तो क्या होगा, आप भी परेशानी में फंस जाएंगे ना. अगर आपके घर से कोई ऐसा संदिग्ध व्यक्ति पाया जाए कि भाई आपने उसको लुका रखा अपने घर में और पुलिस को पता चल जाए, तो व्हाट है, क्या होगा, यही होगा ना. सो दैट्स व्हाई हैना डजंट वांट दैट, कि वो उसको जो है वो बिल्कुल नहीं चाहती वो अपने घर में लेके आए या उसको कोई हेल्प करे उसके उसमें परेशानी में. लेकिन सैडो ऑल्सो, वो भी अपने देश के प्रति पूरी तरह से पैट्रियोटिक है, वो भी बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से समझता है कि अमेरिकन्स आर एनिमी, लेकिन बीइंग ए डॉक्टर his consciousness doesn't allow to leave the person in that condition or throw him in the sea again. So that's why he is in a great dilemma. Sheltering at Piotrowski would land them into jail, क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने उसको रुका लिया तो उन्हें जेल हो सकती है. If handed over as a prisoner, यदि उसको हैंड ओवर कर दे पुलिस को, तो डेफिनेटली तो वो भी उसको मार ही देंगे, सर्टेनली वो भी जो है मरेगा ही. So Weber what to do, क्या करें उसका, or think of throwing him back into the sea but can't do it because he is wounded. नहीं घायल है, घायल को कैसे हम छोड़ दें. फिर से उसके जो है हैना से वही बोलता है, afraid of detection by servant, लेकिन उन्हें डर लग रहा है कि घर ले गए तो सर्वेंट्स को पता चल जाएगा, हम नहीं किसी को सबसे पहले सर्वेंट्स जाके बता देंगे. तो that's why they are in a great dilemma and they decided to assure them to their intention. फिर लगा नहीं इसको घर ले चलते हैं, हम सर्वेंट्स को बता दें कि हमारी इंटेंशन किसी एनिमी को अपने घर में शेल्टर देने का नहीं है, जस्ट वी वांट टू गिव हिम फर्स्ट एड, हम केवल उसको थोड़ा सा उसके वुंडेड है तो उसको थोड़ी सी हेल्प करने के लिए केवल लेके आए, अदरवाइज वी विल हैंड हिम ओवर टू पुलिस. ये उन्होंने सोचा कि वी विल कन्विंस टू आवर सर्वेंट्स, और ऐसा करके दे लॉस्ट द वुंडेड POW इन देयर डिजीज्ड फादर रूम. अपने जो है फादर के घर में, जो उसके फादर का कमरा हुआ करता था उस समय, उनके टाइम में वो कमरा आज भी उन्होंने ऐसे ही रखा हुआ था, सेम जापानीज स्टाइल से वो सजा हुआ. आपको पता है जापानीज लोग जो है बेड पर नहीं सोते हैं या बेड पर नहीं बैठते हैं, दे यूजुअली पुट देयर शीट्स और मैट्स ऑन द दिस फ्लोर एंड देयर दे सिट. तो वहाँ भी उसका कमरा भी ऐसे ही था, वहाँ वो ले गए उसको और उन्होंने उसको वहाँ पर लेटा दिया. इससे पहले कि वो इतनी अच्छी सी बेडशीट, इतना अच्छा क्विल्ट वहाँ पे डली हुई थी, लेकिन उसने हैना ने सोचा कि वो ख़राब ना हो जाए, वो कबर्ड से लेके आने लगती है, तब तक उसने उसको उसी शीट पे लटा दिया. So today that's over, and tomorrow we will again continue from here. I hope I make you much clear this chapter, but even then go through this chapter, the text, read that carefully, and the new words, those are also consult with your dictionary and write in your notebook so that you can add new words in your vocabulary. And the question answer also I will make you write. So thank you and have a nice day.